Greetings, it is I, Charisma, also known as Oracle Gems. And my ladies, the womb healing is top priority. It is so important. And those wombs really, truly go so deep, oftentimes hidden, lost in the unseen. And so they spark up out of the void. When we meet someone who is divinely aligned for us to meet, to trigger us, oh my goodness. Those are really the most insightful moments when we get triggered by someone who is meeting us in complete coherence, who are actually meeting us in our truest divinity, as a reflection of our truest divinity, to show up in complete reciprocity and love, and to really honor us in our state that we're in as we're going through our healing. And those triggers are so oftentimes very uncomfortable. And as a woman, it can be so painful, it can be awkward, it can be very, very much uncomfortable to go through a deep triggering for a wound that has been forgotten, that has been pushed to the back of your mind, but it's showing you those psychological loops that you've been going through that just are not the true, authentic expression of your beingness. It is not the true expression of your full feminine power. Even when you're totally killing it and you're doing the boss girl stuff and you're still doing the healing and you feel like you're completely healed, oftentimes there's little things lingering. If we're blocked, if there's some sort of block in our physical reality, and we're struggling to create sisterhood, we're struggling to connect with other women, we're struggling to build a stable foundation for ourselves within this physical world. I've been through it. Me, myself, this was my experience. It's just, I would personally was so hooked on being a daddy's girl. I was so hooked on healing my father wounds and all the things that I had with my father, and coinciding with my grandmother on my father's side. And it's always my father, everyone on my father's side, trying to coincide with my aunties on my father's side, his sisters. But I totally, completely neglected the wounds that were inflicted on my mother's side. And I'm sure so many of you women can relate. The simple, and this can show up in so many signs, the slight unhealed wounds that have silent echoes from our deep subconscious state, that we cover it up, we bury it, and we just, not even intentionally, this happens on a subconscious level, and we forget that it even exists. But it's being reflected to us directly in our reality, who we come across, what we're able to manifest, the types of experiences that we're attracting, and even especially the types of thoughts and psychological implants and like projections from our mental state that we're having surrounding those experiences. Like, how am I allowed to experience this? Who do I think I am? How am I even worthy of something this amazing, this delicious, this divine? Who do I think I am, kicking back and chilling while it flows in effortlessly? I'm not working hard enough. And these are thoughts that many women are having. And as I'm having them, being where collective consciousness, all of our wombs are connected, and we've all been through some sort of inflicted pain upon our womb space. These are the thoughts that come up as a feminine expression and feminine embodied as a woman. It's just like, am I even good enough for all of these blessings? And struggling with finances, and struggling with connecting with sisters. And there is not always rainbows and butterflies. They trigger you, and it can be catty. Some people we all express it differently. It can be cattiness. It can be bringing out the claws, having beef with another woman, or just feeling so triggered, or feeling jealous, feeling envious of another woman because you don't think what you have is good enough. You don't honor your assets because there was never love poured into it. And for me, it has been just meeting divine, magical women who are, I know they're instantly my sea stars, my sisters in Christ, and they trigger me. So they trigger wounds deeper that need to come up. And I love being triggered at this point, because it brings up, oh, my womb is literally responding. That's what I was feeling. This is such a huge breakthrough for me. I'm literally feeling my womb. I've been feeling her have like these aches, and I'm just like, okay, she's talking to me, but baby, what's going on? Like, I just finished my cycle. And oh yes, I want to talk about my cycle. I just finished my cycle, and I only bleed for like 3 days now. And it's crazy. I wasn't always like this. My cycle is, it's always been, like what, 5 to 7 days. And there was even once when I was in middle school, I bled for 3 weeks straight. Actually, I marked it off on the calendar. I believe it went up to 28 days. That's when I was hemorrhaging really bad. That's when we were eating all kinds of crazy foods. Y'all know how middle school was. Our mom had she got the food stamps in clutch. And she would just buy whatever was in the frozen aisle. That's what we were eating. And as I got older, started getting more health. After high school, I got into actual healthy eating, health and wealth. My cycle shortened to like 5 to 7 days. But now I am 27 and I dive deeper into my womb healing, on my healing journey, and being activated and slowly elevating and being initiated as a divine woman, as a goddess. I shortened, and now I'm now 27. I shortened to 3 days. I believe one time it even was 2 days, but it's definitely usually 3 days in total. But it has lightened completely. I used to bleed red, of course, but this recent one has been so interesting. It hasn't been as much shedding. It was pink this entire time, this is the first time this has ever happened, that my entire cycle, the entirety, has been pink. And it's crazy. It has pink, but like a slight red undertone, but it wasn't red at all. And this is so interesting. So it's like most of the time you're bleeding. I feel like I should have made this a separate video, but it's okay. I'm under 10 minutes, so this is really great. Oftentimes we're hemorrhaging, and all of this PMS, the hemorrhaging, the overbleeding, the bleeding too much, the PMS, the excessive rage of emotions, that's all just your womb communicating with you. There's things that's stored there. Our womb is storing constantly, and this is our creation space where we take in things, we hold it in gestation, and we birthed it, and we keep creating with these different energies that are circulating within the space. So if you're not clearing and healing, you're literally storing trauma in your womb space, and it will take manifestation as some sort of ailment, whether that's cysts. For me, it was cysts, being in an unhealthy environment with those who spawned me. Love them, but there's so many things that have to be brought to the surface, especially when you're the guide, or you're the healer, you're the shifter of the bloodline. I don't know. And yes, they gave me a little chuckle. But yeah, and you're the one to shift everything for the new generations to come. It's so important to really dive into that and to literally follow your own flow. It can take, for me, it was just cysts. Thankfully, it did not go further than that. But for some women, those cysts do start to form into fibroids, which are much, much more aggressive, much worse. But those, it's just communication. It's your womb communicating with you that there's unresolved traumas stored from, it can be really from it could be from your mom, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, and it's coming down to express itself genetically because it has not been sorted through and reprogrammed and cleared out, to fully activate your true gloriousness, your true graciousness. And it can even some women get endometriosis, which I feel like that's an interesting case. I haven't looked deeper into it, but I will. It can even, and then there's some women get mishandled, and all of that information is being stored. Every experience you're having is being stored in the waters of the womb. And that's why it's important for us to clear it out. And for me, diving into that pain, really holding yourself, not running from it to go get medications from these doctors. I stopped even going to the OBG. I'm pretty sure I owe them money, child. But anyways, whatever. All debts have been cleared. A lot of them have this blank look on their face of like confusion, like they just kind of like did what they needed to do to pass the test to get the job. Like that's always what it's giving when I go to the hospital. I'm just saying, America. I'm just saying. Best doctors I've been to have been the Indians. They be on point with, they give you the real remedies. But anyways, that's just a little tea. Yes, this is just so important, and for me, this has been an even more of a breakthrough for me. Just communicating with my divine sea star, and like hearing her response, and literally witnessing the trigger and being instantly aware of it. And not all women are aware of it, especially when you're at the beginning of your healing journey. You're so used to shutting it off. You're so used to shoving underneath the surface. You're so used to just getting by and surviving. And like, oh man, I gotta get this money. I gotta get this job. I can't cry right now. I just got abused. I don't have time to process it. Yeah, sure, this relationship is toxic, but at least I got a man. He's providing whatever. He's giving me company. He's fueling my inner child to some sort of degree, even if there's toxic remedy. And it's just like, man, there's so many things that the women are going through, and I've been witnessing it, especially when I'm flowing and I'm meeting so many amazing women, lots of boss girls, and it's just like, we're juggling a lot. And it can be such a flex. You can really get prideful and just be like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, yes, I'm a boss girl. I got my job. I also got my business on the side. So I got my 9 to 5, my 24/7 on the side. I could handling the children. I'm handling the household. I got this. I'm investing in this. I got this LLC. And it's just like, yes, it's something beautiful to flex about. But at the same time, we can't let the physical obstacles that we have overcome the obstacles that we can't let the physical obstacles that we're going through in our life overpower and overcome the waves that we're flowing through within our internal states of being. Like, you have to, like, sometimes you got to drop that. You got 2 jobs, it's doing just what it needs to do. Sometimes you got to drop that extra job to just be able to have that extra time to yourself, to just go to the beach, to meditate, to really just, you can meditate right before you go to sleep, but you to just really have that time to go do what you love, to satisfy the inner child, sometimes to satisfy your ego. I've been through all of this. I've been through the whole demonizing the ego, and like, sometimes you really just need to like let her be free and let her have her moment. And ego is just an extension of self, so it's just all of these expressions that are considered taboo, that are considered demonized. All of this, all shutting off a lot of the feminine. A lot of this comes from dogma as well. Like, that's why a lot of this, I'm not speaking anything against any specific religion, but dogma. The dogma is the problem. The man flipping in for everything, inverting it, and trying to control the force of the womb space, and literally trying to steal wombs. Y'all, I can't. It's a lot of war, really, against the womb, against the woman, the divine original blueprint, because her state is absolute supreme. It is supreme. It is serenity. It is everything of creation comes out of the womb. We live in a cosmic womb, so of course they want to slander us and demonize us and misportray us. Oh, Lilith is not no evil. And it's funny, I met a beautiful Lilith. I didn't know she was the bartender. She was wearing a beautiful, glorious pink and white outfit, and that's Venus, Venusian. It's Venus energy, right? And this was like the last day of Venus like 2 or 3 days before, maybe a week before Venus retrograde was complete. And I literally complimented her, shook hands with Lilith. And then she was my bartender. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were the bartender here. And it was just a beautiful interaction. And she's so sweet. So sweet. Lilith is the sweetest. So, like, how are you trying to demonize the woman that is the sweet, but she can be bitter when she's mistreated? It's literally Tafiti? Returning the heart. I hope I said that right. I've still got to see Moana too, but literally, this is not who you are. Here's your heart, returning the heart back to the goddess, and your heart and your room are dynamically connected. And so reactivating that consciousness that has been sent into a dormant state that lies dormant, reawakening her. And she's gonna be, when you reawaken her at first, she's gonna be enraged. But really, it's about tapping into that liveliness, that force, that pulse that's moving through her. Even if it's cysts, literally touching the cyst, massaging around it, really soaking it in a spirit bath, as they call it, with the herbs and the coconut milk. And I use black walnut and pink Himalayan sea salt, and really doing those spiritual baths, doing those cleanses, doing those rituals, really making an altar for her, literally praising yourself as the goddess you are, doing the cleanses, the womb meditations, the self tantra, and literally diving into the depths of her, the depths of your beingness, and literally connecting through all your ancestors, your whole ancestral lineage through your womb space. And that's crazy powerful. That's crazy power. And once you learn how to harness that, you're an unmovable, unshakable force. And even if it's a cyst, talk to the cyst. It's literally like you can't be here, baby. Like, it's time for you to guide it out of there, massage yourself. It's not even talking to the sis, it's literally communicating with your womb, letting the trauma. It's just information, you guys. Don't think that you're being attacked. Like, oh my gosh, she hates me. Oh my gosh, don't curse her just because you have to bleed heavy. There's something there for you to dive into. It's information, and that's not normal. Even the PMS, y'all. The PMS, oh my goodness, the cramps, even cramps. I was getting cramps before. I think maybe light cramps, like it's like, okay, I can feel that I'm going through it. But honestly, I think it's so beautiful when I be forgetting. I'm like, oh, I actually forgot I'm bleeding. Like, when you forget that, I feel like that's so healthy. When you're not like in excruciating pain, that's not normal for us to be in excruciating pain when we're on that phase of menstruation or even ovulation. All of these cycles, I feel like they have their different aspects, but it's never supposed to be. Again, these are just all of these different things: cysts, fibroids, any sort of ailment, any sort of like PMS. All of these are just, even the extreme excruciating cramping, y'all. These are all just different expressions of the Kali energy. This is different expressions of the raging goddess. Your womb is raging because she is not being loved and poured into, and you're not acknowledging certain pains and traumas and wounds that are trying to let you know that it's there, that hasn't been delved into and cleared out for you to really express the true, pulsing, magical, beautiful essence that is the womb space, that is the goddess, that is the feminine. And I'm just making breakthroughs just through the goddesses that I connect with divinely, heart to heart. It is just really triggering certain things that need to be brought to the surface that I may have forgotten about. I'm like, that's what, like, I didn't even know. Like, dang, that makes sense. Like, I'm making connections, epiphanies within my own experience with my mother. And it's been so enlightening and interesting. And it's just like, I just got really silent. That's how I knew I was triggered. I'm like, okay, she sent me a voice message back. And I was like, okay, I'll listen to her speak. And she has such a sweet voice. I love her voice. And I just got triggered instantly because I thought she was going to say something negative. I thought she was going to shoot me down and ridicule me. And, like, instantly I knew, like, I knew she wasn't going to do that. She wouldn't do that. But, like, it's just, like, this program that was playing in my mind about, dang, I'm just expecting to be, like, ridiculed because, it was not just her. I have, like, 2 or 3 other beautiful goddesses that came into my life as divine, that are meant to be my sisters this life, and like all of this stuff is like predestined, because it just seems like such poetry when you come across them, you meet them. It's like, oh, we know each other on a soul, like we already know each other like on a soul level. It's like, yes, we're sisters, we're friends now. Like, beautiful energy. All of them, it's just been a trigger from some sort of wound that was inflicted upon the feminine that raised me. And that comes from the feminine that spirals out of the feminine that raised them, and it just trickles down into someone acknowledges and clears it out, so that it can be just this beautiful wave of organic expression, not altered and warped by some sort of false definition of who you're supposed to be, who you have to be, or who you are. Sometimes they think they want to label you something that you're not. That's just complete negativity, complete warped view, a fragmentation of the goddess of creation. And that's what we're obliterating. We're obliterating through all of those things. And I really hope to eradicate all of the cysts and the fibroids and the hysterectomies within America, because the rates are crazy high of hysterectomies and fibroids and cysts. It's just crazy. And of course, we all want to eliminate the R word. Yes. Eliminate. I don't even want to say it. I'm not going to say it this time. Usually I'm just like, I want to dive deep and we're going to be anyways, you know what I mean. So yes, that was my story, my journey, the journey of my cycles. Maybe one day I might dive deeper into it when it's just about nothing but menstruation. And true health and wealth as a woman. And I really still need to read that book by Queen Afua. But yes, is there anything else that I want to say? Be who you are. Just be as magical as you want to be. And I'm speaking to myself too, as well as to you. Just be as magical as you want to be. The direction is already, everything is already set. The GPS has already been set. All you have to do is trust and follow that GPS. And there's things that already have your name on it. You're just going to start magnetizing it. And man, it's kind of going sad. We're just magical by nature, and it's just returning to that nature, remembering. And goddess retreats are on the way. I'm usually like, I'm gonna keep everything on hush until it's manifested, and I was like, there is no, like, it's certain. And it's like, now all your brains know. Amplify it. The goddess retreats are on the way, and yes, I am me. Labels. We don't have to label every single thing, every single aspect of our being, of expression, because it can change so quickly. But yes, I'm thirsty. I'm about to get some juice. Yes, it's gonna be really good. A little cleanse, a little fast with the liquid, healthy liquid. Trying to steer away from coffee. I had coffee today, but the lady gifted it to me. I just made my order for a smoothie. I had like orange. It was this beautiful mix of just orange, agave. It was, oh wait, let's do the fruits first. It was orange, mango, lime, agave, and coconut milk. So good. That's a really good combination. Wasn't doing too much. And yeah, I love that one. So maybe I might do smoothies. I don't know. I really wanted to just do the liquid, but I might do smoothies too. I don't know. I think I might liquid it. But sometimes the wave changes. But I really do want to stand firm on my decision making though. But yes, stay tuned for other videos I wanted to share. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that experience in this video. Yes, I'm doing really good, y'all. So my experience that I had yesterday, as this trolley passes us. So my experience that I had yesterday was beautiful. It was also like truly showing the magnetizing of the womb. Pretty sure I did it again today because it happened so instantly. I was literally sending the voice note and like being transparent with my C-star about my trigger, like how she was triggering me. And like, it wasn't her, like, girl, it's not you. Obviously, that's usually how triggers work. It's not them. She's just triggering something that's subconsciously from another feminine embodied. And the masculines will do the same. So you will literally attract your father, y'all. Like, don't be just throwing your coochie out there. Like, you're attracting your father. If it's not healthy, it wasn't that something that's not healthy. You can't really blame that man. I would say just go deeper, take accountability for attracting and manifesting something that is still in your womb space from your father. And that's how it works. And then the same with the feminine, that will be your mother wound. And the men you attract is your father wound. And so, yeah, so like my experience yesterday, I experienced it a little bit today as I was telling her about my wound, my trigger. Literally, this lady rushed in to charge her phone right next to me. We were using the same port. And then she was just basically trying to catch the last like 7 minutes of her meeting, which, by the way, them little corporate meetings or whatever, I only had like one corporate job. Like for like 3 months, and I was gone. But anyways, like them corporate meetings, the last little 10 minutes don't mean nothing. Like the last 7 minutes, it's just them rambling, child. They be sharing stories, giving their life story. And there's always some older lady on there who want to give her life story, but you don't want to be rude, and you just have to listen to it. But anyway, I'm like, girl, she plugged in to catch the last 7 minutes, and I just felt like I should have gave her my info. She was in and out so freaking fast. I'm like, bro, as I'm literally having the trigger and the epiphany, she rushes in to charge her computer as it's about to die. And I just thought that was funny. And this goes into the story I want to speak on about how I did this the other day. Now I know to wait a little bit when I go into a space. Not everybody, like I knew it once I walked up to this couple that had ice cream and I was trying to make a sell. They didn't even make eye contact, and she was just like, nah. Like, she didn't even give me a whole full response. I was just like, yeah. Child, I kind of already knew I need to just chill for a bit, breathe for a little bit, dive into your body for a little bit, and feel. So like get it kick-started, the magnetization. I don't know. And they had ice cream melting everywhere. So I'm like, yeah, this is a mess. This is unaligned, instantly new. They got ice cream dripping everywhere, trying to figure it out. And she's not even looking at me. She's giving me a half response. So I sit down, and then I see this beautiful couple. And I see attraction. There was zero attraction to them. I just saw people standing there with ice cream, and I was just like, hey, them. But no, like, that's how we magnetize. You'll feel some sort of, it'll be some synchronicity, and the synchronicity can be something as simple as being attracted to their necklace. Like, oh, you have an elephant. I also have an elephant. That's a synchronicity. So like, that's the insert point. Like, if you're making sales, that's a good way to make sales as a woman, really tapping into your intuitive flow. If you're not feeling their energy, you feel kind of disgusted, they're not a client, babes. Like, don't even try to sell to them at all. They're probably not going to even want to give you any money because you're not aligned. That's Fibonacci sequence. That's collective consciousness. Like, you're not going to be aligned with to receive anything from them. And they're not going to be able to pour into you. They're probably going to take from you. So, like, that's how I navigate. And saw this lady, and I love it. She was this beautiful, voluptuous, curvy woman. She had her belly out, and I just love that because I've been covering my belly, and I'm just like, she has like her little cute belly out, and she has like these little short shorts, and she's just a voluptuous, beautiful goddess, and she had this beautiful curly hair, and she was with her mans, and both of them were so beautiful. I was like, you are so beautiful. She's like, thank you. They sat down long after they were totally like making out, but anyways, yes, they sat down, and I basically made 2 sales. I was like, yeah, I have beautiful bracelets, and she already had crystal bracelets on her arm, so I'm like, okay, perfect. She would be into this. But I had like some wooden turquoise, pretty sure it was knockoff turquoise, child, but they were beads. Okay, I used them, and it looked so good with the wood. I want to make some more of those. Basically, I made 2 sales for them. I usually sell them 12 a piece, but I'm like, they're usually 12 each. They wanted to buy 2 of them, 1 for each of them. I'm like, we can do 2 for 20. I gave them 2 for 20. And they instantly cashed out me. They got their bracelets. And I was like, yes. And immediately after, I literally could not even make it back to my table before this lady walks up to me. I was going to compliment her outfit. She's like, she reminded me of my grandmother. She had the whole matching fit. She was fresh. And she literally walked up to me before I even could make it back to my table to like put my money back in my bag. Like to put my wallet back in my bag. Or to put my bracelets back in my bag because he cashed me. And she was like, she just walked up to me and literally started talking. She was like, did that man ask you for money? And that's how she started the conversation. But long story short, we got into a conversation, and she ended up being a school teacher too for the school. And I'm just like, my grandmother also worked for the school system. Like, you just reminded me of my grandma all around. And she was like, I'm a pack rat. And I was like, you sound like my grandmother. And it was crazy. So it was a beautiful attraction, magnetization. Instantly after me putting out something beautiful and receiving something, and reciprocity, making a beautiful sale effortlessly. They were feeling it. It wasn't a weird energy. It was just effortless. And that's after I gave it a little beat. And she basically was telling me her story, and it was a womb story. And I was like, wow, and I love hearing unique stories. And then she actually told me she's working on her book or her audio. So another sync God sent her, and it was just beautiful the way we connected. She is writing her autobiography, and I was like, she really gave me the breakdown. I appreciate her advice. I'm gonna use that too. She gave me some really good advice on how to structure my book when I write whether it be an autobiography, or I feel like you can use that blueprint for any sort of book you want to write. She was basically giving me this step-to-step breakdown on good ideas to how to structure it, and I was like, yes. Because I can't use the method we used in middle school. I mean, I could, but I'm not feeling that. But yeah, so she basically broke it down to me, and I received that information. And I'm like, wow, this is another sign to really just start my autobiography. And she gave it to me in a way that wasn't overwhelming. And so, like, I really feel inspired to really get something going. And, like, she basically gave me her little story of her life. I would have predicted she's, like, maybe her 50s. That's what she looked like. She was in her 50s, maybe like mid to late 50s. But she was telling me how her parents, she was the miracle child. She has 12 siblings, and they thought they were only going to have 12 children, but she was the 13th child. I swear when I go to Ybor City, it's always something biblical. She basically was the 13th child, unexpected. They thought something was wrong with the mother because the mother was 64. So basically she was pregnant at 64. And the dad was like maybe a few years older. I believe it's 64. That's what she said. I know it was somewhere in the 60s. Yeah, it was definitely 60. My brain, I'm remembering it well. Then maybe the dad was like 69. And I think the dad, she said maybe was 74. No, I'm pretty sure it's like maybe 2 or 3 years off, y'all. They were old, okay? Like, obviously men can reproduce into their 80s, but the woman, for her mom to be like able to get pregnant at 64, like she thought she was sick. She thought something was wrong with her. And then they found out she kept going back and forth. She's like, there's something wrong with me. Like, I can feel it. You know, the doctors don't be listening. But basically they ended up, after doing so many tests, they come to find out that she's actually pregnant. There ain't no sickness. It ain't the food. Like, no, you're pregnant, lady. And she's like, what? And I can only imagine, honestly, I I wasn't there, but I can only imagine the reaction of the entire family to find that your 64-year-old's mother is pregnant. And I was like, wow, this is a crazy story. She's like, yeah. She's like, I was the miracle child. And I just felt like a huge sink because I'm like, yeah, they call me the miracle child. So I feel like it's such a beautiful connection for her to give me all the advice that I need. And then she turns out she has a jewelry kit. I was like, I might as well insert and make a sale. We've been talking for about 40 minutes. And she just was like, she has actual kits. She didn't know what to do with. She figured somebody could probably use it because it's not her hobby. She doesn't really care to make the jewelry. And I was like, you know what? All my kits are home. That would be beautiful if you gave me that. She wants to do it in summer because she's a school teacher. She's soon to retire, I think. Wrap it up. But yeah, that was just so beautiful that, like, man, I've never heard a story that a woman gets pregnant at that age. And so that ties into what are they actually telling us? The doctors are like they're misproviding information. Like, really, it's truly, especially Black women. I feel like we can really have children. And there was even a white woman who had a child, I believe, at like 51 or 52. We can really have children. They're lying. Like, you're not pushing it at 33. Like, stop freaking lying, bro. That is very, very young. And they want us to believe that 40 is just like, it's detrimental if you get pregnant. I feel like it's all about how you're taking care of yourself and your internal state, like your mental, emotional, psychological, and physical wellness is better. You have a higher chance of being, it's just, if it's aligned, it's healthier and better. But they're totally lying. You can definitely have a child up until at least 50s, right? I mean, shit, 64, that's crazy. I don't know if it was even 70. That's even wilder, actually. But I'm pretty sure it was the 60s. Either way, I was still shook. But yes, like, to carry full term and still be, like, living well. Man, ooh, pizza. I said I was fasting, so. Anyways, that was the story that I experienced yesterday. Whew. But yes. Then I connected with another woman yesterday, like, later in the day. Which is beautiful, and we talked and chatted it up. Yeah, simply because I was attracted by her outfit. Like, her outfit was so on point. I was just like, absolutely beautiful, and we connected that way. But yes, it's hot and I need to hydrate. But hope you took something from that. If not, then it's not me. But yes, stay hydrated. I'm about to get myself some hydration now. Stay bodied in your breath and in your, before I even close out, if you want to cash at me to fund my spiritual and physical endeavors, travel wise, and to create these sacred spaces, you can donate to my Cash App. I guess I don't even be using PayPal, but I guess if you have PayPal and you don't have Cash App, you should just download Cash App. It's both Charisma Clemens. It'll be below. You can just Cash at me if you got Cash App. And if not, just DM me. We can work something out. I have other ways, Apple Pay. I'm going to get my Venmo set up again. I know a lot of you just really vouch for Venmo and don't know who Cash App is. So I want to have that as an option as well. If you want to book a session with me, all of my sacred services are posted in the flyer that's pinned to my Instagram profile. And it's a short. If you can find the short, it's on YouTube. But it's so much easier. Just go to my Instagram. YouTube, Facebook, and email are all the same. Oracle Gems. All the same name. Oracle Gems. Services pinned to my Instagram profile. Click on the link in my bio. Send you to my YouTube. Well, this is going to be posted on my YouTube. So you would just go to my Instagram. Follow, subscribe, like. Stay tuned for more information. Turn that little bell on if you want to be notified when I make a post. Definitely share with someone. Share to a goddess who needs to hear this message. And the wisdom that's bestowed within the lines. And yeah, just I mean, if you want to DM me, that's easy, whatever, DM me. But really, as things expand, email definitely would be the best. Email me. Yes, so stay about it in your breath and in your bliss. Ciao.